I was teaching in Spain, and I was a big fan of a magazine for teachers that had great material. I loved working with it, and I was thrilled the day that I found out that this magazine actually had an office in the city I was living in, which was Barcelona. And I went down to the office and I said, "I'll do anything. I'll write anything. I love your material. I want to do stuff like that." They told me to go away and that they didn't hire people like that. I went back and I made a whole bunch of material in the style of their magazine, and I came back another day and I said, "I really, take a look at this. I just want to, work with you guys." I'm inspired. And that's how it started. I published a one-page article, material reading for a reading activity for students on the Year of the Refugee, United Nations Year of the Refugee. And one thing led to another, and I started writing more for them, and then I got involved with One Stop English at the very early days of that website.
And you still write for One Stop English?
I still write for One Stop English. I think I've done something once a month for that site now for almost 5 or 6 years. Okay, they're both practical books. The Language Teacher's Survival Guide and the Dealing with Difficulties books are practical. But teachers like that, and there are lots of practical books. What's different about them is they address issues that tend to be avoided in English language teaching. In Dealing with Difficulties, we tackle the issue of discipline head-on, the issue of large classes, of mixed ability. These are things that teachers often wrestle with, especially in a climate such as now where communicative language teaching is seen as the way to go. This flies in the face of traditional style teaching, and if not managed correctly, can cause headaches for teachers.
Right.
The other thing is, with the Language Teacher's Survival Guide, we addressed more holistically the life of a teacher inside the classroom, but also outside the classroom. Issues such as culture shock, job interviews, what makes a good staff room, things like that aren't often talked about. It's hard. The more you get into writing, and especially doing conferences and things like that, the more demands on your time travel-wise. So it's a bit unfair to your students, but also to a school if you have to go off all the time. That being said, I still manage to teach a class a couple of weeks. I wish I had more, but most writers still keep in some teaching. I think it's important to have at least 1 or 2 groups relating to what you're doing. But it's a challenge.
It's a trick.
Well, I think first of all, I would tell myself that learning a language is difficult, and your students are not going to get it at the end of one class, at the end of one term, or maybe at the end of one course. Sometimes there'll be big jumps, other times it'll be almost invisible, their development of their language. So don't beat yourself up about it if they don't all seem to be blossoming like you'd hope they were. I think lots of teachers, myself included, have a naive idea of helping people achieve their potential and being able to see it. And some learning is intangible. And the other thing is you can't always please everybody all the time. Well, the Delta Development Series has got off to a good start. There's a few books out on that. My latest thing now, I've discovered the world of blogging. And so I've got a blog called 6things.net where I collect lists about language teaching. Fun lists, serious lists, all kinds of lists. And each entry is only 6 things relating to a certain area. An example of one of my lists, there was a list on the 6 most frequent words in English. There's also been a list of 6 technological inventions teachers really want to see. What I find with these lists is, because you're blogging, other people can contribute stuff and comment. So it's a real dialogue you enter with teachers from around the world. Other lists, 6 great films about teaching, 6 ways to start a class, 6 ways to finish a class.
Excellent.
We'll make some stuff.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Lindsay.
Thank you.
It's a pleasure to speak with you.
Thanks. Good to see you again.